Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So today we have Alison Lundergan Grimes versus Mitch McConnell on a presidential level. I thought this would be interesting because I just watched a video from the annual picnic in Kentucky in 2014, and it was pretty funny. So I decided to do these two, I guess, for a rematch. I mean, remember Alison Lundergan Grimes lost to him in 2014 for the Senate race, but then again, it was also an anti-Obama year. It was a little bit too close for Mitch McConnell, but it wasn't his closest election per se. So we're going to go off which the West Coast, where we know these states are going to be Democratic. Tell me if you guys like this map or not. This is the SurveyMonkey map. You just go to Google and type in SurveyMonkey 2016 election map. You can make your own map like this. Nebraska as well. I'm pretty much filling in all the safe states that I would deem safe, Democratic and safe Republican. That's a couple states. West Virginia, with Mitch McConnell, I don't know. But for the safe states, for Alison Lundergan Grimes, she would win considerably more states than Mitch McConnell on the safe, when we're talking about safe states. Massachusetts, Vermont. You know what really makes me mad is how they didn't capitalize Vermont. It's just VT with a lowercase. Since you can't really allocate different electoral votes, I would have to leave Maine at large and the entire state of Maine as a safe state. So, Minnesota, actually, I would consider pretty much the entire Rust Belt safe, and New Mexico. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is Senator Mitch McConnell, one of the most unpopular senator and the Senate Majority Leader, so he would leave a bad taste in their mouth. Pretty much, these are all the safe states for Alison Lundergan Grimes against Mitch McConnell on a presidential level. 257 electoral votes to his 81. She's gonna win this election. I saw the way she spoke. She can most definitely appeal to a lot of the voters. I mean, she was endorsed by the coal mining industry, not industry association, but Workers of America. But overall, she has a lot more appeal than Mitch McConnell does on a presidential level. Mitch McConnell cannot appeal to the Rust Belt whatsoever. He's already ticked off half of his base. Most of the Trump base dislikes him. It would be really hard for them to come out to vote for him. And Grimes is more of a blue dog Democrat, and she looks very conservative. She seems like she would run on a GOP ticket, but she didn't. She speaks a lot more. She doesn't pander as much as Mitch McConnell did. But again, it was a Republican state, so it was expected that she lost, and it was an anti-Obama year in the Senate by a big margin, so it was expected that she would lose. But on a presidential level, Mitch McConnell's approval rating has since dropped. She said that her age was 35, and that was also Mitch McConnell's approval rating. Well, it's also dropped a lot farther than that. I saw a poll with Mitch McConnell's approval rating at 18%. Going over to the state of Kentucky, I think Grimes would actually win the state of Kentucky. Now, although it is a Republican state, Republican states have been known to flip. States like Indiana, Missouri almost flipped, North Carolina, Virginia, Colorado, Nevada, Florida. A number of these states have flipped back and forth between two parties, but I think Kentucky, with all the endorsements that she has on her side, with all the support she has on her side, with her being more favorable than Mitch McConnell at this moment in time, it would definitely help her. Going up to New Hampshire, that state's easily going to the Democratic Party. Going over to Colorado, again. Nevada, again. Pretty much every state Hillary Clinton won would be safe blue. Going down to Florida, Mitch McConnell's not going to win Florida. He does not have a strong enough base to go down to Florida. Him being the GOP majority leader, it does not leave a good taste in their mouth, considering that there's a lot of opposition to the GOP at this point in time with a Trump presidency. Going over to Tennessee, I would give that to Mitch McConnell. I think he would narrowly take Tennessee. I think it could come. I don't think it would go to Grimes, but I think it would be within 10%, being completely honest. Going over to a state like Arizona, Mitch McConnell, I think that would actually go to Alison Lundergan Grimes. It depends on who her VP is, mainly, but I think she could actually pick that one up. Mitch McConnell is very disapproved across the nation on multiple scales. If he pisses off a lot of Trump voters, that's not good for him. Going over to Iowa, I think Iowa and Ohio, I think both of these states, she would win easily. I mean, these are states that went for President Obama. Going down to North Carolina, again with the blue dog Democratic appeal, I think she could easily win North Carolina. Going over to Georgia, though, Mitch McConnell does have some of an outreach in Georgia. A lot of top Republican officials were from the state of Georgia, like Newt Gingrich, Johnny Isakson. But I think Grimes would be able to pick up their votes. Going over to Indiana, that's a really tough one. I mean, it depends on how the economy is going, and also how the jobs that were promised to them are getting there. I mean, if President Trump follows through with that, considering this is a 2020 presidential election prediction, just say Mitch McConnell was the GOP nominee. Actually, if it was just these two, Mitch McConnell would not win Indiana. And that's a tough realization because Mitch McConnell is probably the worst Republican candidate they could run on a presidential ticket. Going over to Missouri, again, blue dog Democratic appeal. I mean, they elected people like Claire McCaskill. Same thing in Indiana with Joe Donnelly. They almost elected Jason Kander, who wasn't necessarily a blue dog, but he was a Democrat, and he almost won. That was considerable. Going over to West Virginia, honestly, that state is reliably Republican. I think it would narrowly go to Mitch McConnell, but Alison Lundergan Grimes, she definitely would have a lot more appeal to the coal workers than people like Hillary Clinton did. And the final state of Texas, I think that one would go to Alison Lundergan Grimes, and that's because Mitch McConnell would, number one, turn off a lot of Trump voters, and it would not be good for McConnell to be able to go down to the state because he's already disapproved on a national level. I mean, going down to Texas, it wouldn't necessarily be the best thing. He would probably perceive it as state Republican. It's becoming more and more Democratic every election year, so it's not necessarily a Democratic state, a Republican state anymore, really. I mean, it's going to end up flipping within the next 8 years, but I think Alison Lundergan Grimes could just take it based off the approvals that we see now and Mitch McConnell's lack of paying attention to states just like Hillary Clinton did. So this is the final electoral map. 438 electoral votes for Alison Lundergan Grimes to 97 for Mitch McConnell. I don't think I filled in D.C., so I'm going to fill that in now, actually. So 441 for Alison Lundergan Grimes and 97 for Mitch McConnell. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.